Hello. I thought rather than make a video of me on the road or of me doing something here at my little castle in rural Wales, I would just take a moment to pause and have a coffee with you. So hello to those who are new to my channel. My name is Mock and I live with my husband and two dogs, one of whom is the lovely Chaucer who's here, and we live in a little castle in rural Wales. And you're currently in our turret sitting room. So I haven't always lived in the countryside. I moved to Gloucestershire in 2010, where I met my husband Joe, and my husband and I lived there until really just after the pandemic. So in 2021, Joe said, I want to move back to Wales. I miss my parents. I really felt being absent from them during COVID. And we found this little castle just outside Abergavenny, and we moved here, and I've been renovating it ever since and struggling with the challenges of running a small business, which means I have to go to London 3 or 4 days a week, and building a new community here and getting the castle renovated. It's been a struggle to deliver work-life balance, but I think I'm getting better at it. So let me tell you a little bit about myself. I'm 56 years old. As I said, I'm married to the wonderful Jo, who I met in the village of Shipton Moyne, just by King Charles's house, Highgrove in Gloucestershire. I grew up in London. My parents were Irish immigrants and had a real strong work ethic, and I think that's been transferred over to me, whether it's in my professional life or in creating a home. I'm always happy to take on a project and always happy to see things move forward. If you know me, you know that my favorite word in the world is onwards, and onwards is really important to me. It's not, absolutely not, about ignoring where you are now, and it's not about running away from your problems into the future, but it's about having a real thought to where you want to get to in life and making sure that you do the work with small micro steps to help you get there. It also means when you have a hiccup in life, and let's face it, who doesn't have hiccups, you know that this too will pass, that not everything is going to stay the same, and if you move onwards, you can move beyond and out of your current predicament. So that is my lovely word, my favourite word, onwards, and I gift it to you, and I hope it's helpful. Now, I have had to practice onward thinking a lot in my adult life. I haven't always lived in a little castle. I think I mentioned that my parents were immigrants to the country from Ireland, and so part of my Irish heritage is that land is very important to me. So in my early 20s, I bought my first flat. Well, I put some deposit down and started paying for my first flat. And I worked really hard, and 17 years later, I built it up to a small mews house in South Kensington, but then the recession hit. I'd just come back from living in New York. I lost my job, and then I couldn't pay the mortgage, and I had to sell my house, move to a flat, which was nothing like the gorgeous flat that I'd left to move into the house. And really, I was very alone, very scared, and quite poor. At the same time, my brother told me he had incurable cancer, and he then died shortly afterwards, and I took on some responsibility for my nieces, who now absolutely are the loves of my life. They are now 19, 16 and 16, and they were 3 and coming up to just over 1 when Andrew left us. A week after my brother left, my father died, and my mother went into a respite home. She never came out, and 14 months later she passed away. I didn't let those awful circumstances break me. I was broke, living somewhere I didn't want to live, with no job, new responsibility for my nieces, and I'd lost my family that I was really close to. So I practiced onwards. I did a mood board, I manifested, I did everything I could do to try and create my desired future. And I never, ever take this for granted. Even this Emma Bridgewater mug. I've just done a video on Instagram about my love of Emma Bridgewater. But when I first encountered Emma Bridgewater, I went to visit a friend of mine who was a nanny in a very fancy house in southwest London, and she made me a coffee in an Emma Bridgewater mug. I'd never seen anything so beautiful and so practical in my entire life. And although I was living in a bedsit in Ladbroke Grove, I earned, I think I was earning £150 a week, and my rent was 65. So I was pretty near the border in terms of being able to afford anything. I said to Emma, one day I want to be rich enough or successful enough to have Emma Bridgewater pottery in my home. And although I'm not a collector, and although I don't have hundreds of pieces, I absolutely love Emma Bridgewater. And when I have my coffee in the morning, or use one of my Emma Bridgewater plates or bowls, I'm reminded of how far I've come. And one of the ways I stay grounded, and one of the ways I try to really enjoy my life, is to look for those little moments of joy. Whether it's a bloom that's staying longer into the autumn than it should do, whether it's an amazing skyline from a building where I'm running a training course, or whether it's taking a sip from an Emma Bridgewater mug. All of those things are opportunities just to find the joy in life, and that's what I spend my time doing. I also spend my time doing a lot of renovation here. So the house that we have now is from about 1670. The origins of it are slightly unclear. It could have been a small farm dwelling. There's a big stately home just over across the fields. We were originally built into their orchard. And in this stately home, we think this may have been part of the estate and was the dower house. We certainly know that in the 1870s, it was part of the village school. It was sold in the early 1900s as a gentleman's residence, and certainly it is a gentleman's residence now. It has been well loved throughout all of its history, and maybe I'll do another video talking about the history of this place. So the building that we're in now is probably Victorian. It's a turret, built, we reckon, about 1870, made of sandstone, so it can absorb the water. And I'm certainly having some problems upstairs with a leaky roof. But I say to myself, this building is over 400 years old. I've got one leak through the roof. I had a roof fit in this morning to have a look at it. And that means I'm doing all right. I've got about 2 acres of garden here. I honestly, when I first moved to Gloucestershire 15 years ago, I remember putting bulbs in the ground and not knowing what way up to put them in. And now I've got 2 acres that I'm bringing back to life, which I absolutely adore. I've got topiary gardens, I've got a small paddock, I've got gorgeous dahlias that bloom all through the late summer and into autumn. The daffodils, the crocuses. Honestly, I will share my garden with you this spring and this summer, and hopefully you'll enjoy it as much as I do. I am gently restoring the building as well, doing it as sympathetically as I can. There's so much history here, and I definitely have to walk you around. It's quite an important house in the village. We host a Christmas party every year, and I absolutely love having the villagers in. I like to build communities wherever I am because I travel so much. I'm not often here during the week. I hate being someone who's just here at weekends. So as much as I can, I spend days during the week here. But once a year, we have the Christmas party. I welcome everyone into the house. We have a great fun shindig, and then once a year we hold a summer party outside in our paddock as well. So everyone gets to visit at least twice a year, and more people will be visiting soon because I am converting our small stables into a holiday let cottage, and you may have seen some of the videos here. It took 53 weeks to get planning permission, but finally we got it. And my idea is that I will retire probably near the end of this year full-time down to Wales, and I will use the holiday let as a source of income. The turret has a separate kitchen and a bedroom and a sitting room. It was used as a holiday let before. I may or may not rent this out. It was actually voted the 3rd most romantic place to stay in the United Kingdom. I think that's absolutely insane. So if you are looking for a holiday from May this year in the glorious Brecon Beacons, and you want to have a wander around beautiful gardens and meet me, and I will be your host, then please do give me a follow, subscribe to this channel, and pop a comment below, and I'll let you know as soon as the Airbnb or holiday let is open. But for now, I've got to get back to my computer and get back to work. But Chaucer and I just wanted to say hello, introduce myself a little bit more. And if there's anything else you'd like to know about me or any questions that you have, please pop them below, and I'll do another video in a week or two saying the answers to those questions. I'm really enjoying making these videos here on YouTube and over on Instagram. So I hope you enjoy them too. And do let me know, what would you like me to talk about, and where would you like me to take you? But for now, wherever you are and whoever you love, I wish you well and I wish you joy. Take care.